Like, you are that girl. Don't ever let anybody tell you different. And I'm talking to myself too. Like, it's really real out here in these streets. Some days you just have to like remind yourself who the F you is, because these people out here are crazy. What's up, and welcome back to another video. My name's Patrice, and if you are new here, welcome. Thanks for tuning in. If you are a subscriber, it's good to see you again. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you guys who have subscribed to my channel. Happy New Year, first of all. We're all going into 2023, and I think we can all agree that these past few years have just been weird since COVID. Nothing has really been the same. Nothing's really felt the same. The holidays are all hitting different, and I'm just kind of going through like this reinventing myself stage moment, and I'm trying to just, you know, figure out the life that I want to live, and I am just going to create that. So basically, with, of course, not in my own strength and power, but this video is one of me talking about my highlights of 2022, the quick little recap, and how I plan to accomplish my goals in 2023. So I always love starting a new year because it's like you get a fresh, clean slate. It's so much fun to look back on where you were 1 year ago and see where you end the next year. So this year, I'm super excited. It's going to be one of consistency for me, and actually doing the things that I freaking say I'm going to do. Because how many of us say, oh, I'm going to do it, but then you never do? Let's get into my 2022 recap. This morning when I woke up, I decided to not think about anything bad that happened this year, but focus only on the good things, the highlights of 2022. And you know, every year you see like these highlight reels of people's Instagrams and TikToks, and it's just a ton of good, like, you know, pictures of, oh, look how beautiful my life is, and the whole nine. Everybody does that. So I did that, but instead of actually creating that reel, I wrote down every month what the highlights were, month by month. So my top 3 things that I boiled down, which as you can see, there's plenty here. 1, I moved to Los Angeles, and that was a very big thing. That was huge for me, a big dream of mine that I never thought I'd be able to do it, because how expensive is it to live in LA? It's outrageous. So my fear was, God, I don't know that I'm going to be able to afford it. But I felt so confident that God told me to move here to LA. So I just believed that he would make a way. And lo and behold, he did. I have a beautiful home. I freaking love my home so much. I love coming home, and I actually don't really want to leave when I'm here. So I don't really get out much. But I'm not planning to leave LA anytime soon. So I'm like, LA ain't going nowhere. So I have plenty of time to really just get out and enjoy the city. So win number 1, my job transferred to LA. I am now an LA resident. Thing number 2, that's 3 fingers. Thing number 2, I started my business. I have always dreamt of being a fashion designer. I went to school for fashion merchandising, and okay, my dog is beating the door down. I don't know, man. It's not that I didn't believe I couldn't do it. It's just that I was scared, man. Like I was probably just terrified. So anywho, I went ahead and I started my business. I participated in New York Fashion Week. I walked at Spring Studios, and that was an amazing moment. I got to be with my best friend, Julian Woodhouse, with his collection as he showed at Spring Studios. New York Fashion Week, I started my business, and I moved to LA. 3 big wins from 2022. What I'm planning to do moving into 2023. A couple of books that I read that I absolutely loved in this past year. These two, Atomic Habits and Can't Hurt Me. They're great reads. Highly recommend. If you haven't ever heard of this book, Atomic Habits by James Clear, check it out. This book I read from cover to cover within 3 days. My biggest takeaway from this book was it taught me how to form my habits, the things that I say that I'm gonna do, into my everyday lifestyles. I wanted to start taking a multivitamin every day, but I would forget. So one thing that I always do is make a cup of coffee in the morning. I love my coffee. So I started to associate taking my vitamin with my cup of coffee in the morning. And so now I have a good 6 or 7 pills I take every morning. And I always remember to take them because I have formed that habit around my current lifestyle. And it teaches you how to do the things that you say you're gonna do and actually see results that last. It teaches you how to set an attainable goal based off of the life that you're already living. So Atomic Habits is a great book. I would read it again, and there are so many more great nuggets of information in this book. Highly recommend. I have a link below in the description to this book. If you want to go read it, go down and click that link. I also Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins. This man's story is incredible. My dad is a Marine, and I grew up in a Marine Corps household. And so I have a really, really deep appreciation for the military. This was another book that I just couldn't put down. I respect this man so much the training and the mental toughness that this guy has is just, it's incredible. And I personally have been through some pretty tough things in my life. And this teaches you how to use that for fuel, how to use those things to propel you forward. And he's honest with himself, and in this book it teaches you how to be honest with yourself as well, and actually pinpoint those things that are making you weak and replacing them with mental toughness and strength. So one of my biggest takeaways from this book, time blocking and time management. There's 24 hours in a day. If you really pay attention to the way that you spend your time, you'll realize that you're wasting a lot of it. So I have in one of my journals here, I do a lot of journaling and writing. I actually wrote down minute by minute what I did that day. I started in the morning and I just started writing everything that I was doing. It was really cool to see how my day actually was spent. Because time and money are the two things that you spend, and that's it. You spend time and you spend money. Pay attention to how you're spending your time and what you're doing with your time, because one thing that I know for sure is that my time is very valuable. So I need to know where I'm spending that time and how I'm spending it and how I can make it work the best for me. So Can't Hurt Me was a book that really had me break that down and pay attention to where my minutes are going every day and becoming more productive. So this is a great read too. Again, another link down below to Can't Hurt Me. One other book that I read this year, this was the first book that I read before Atomic Habits and Can't Hurt Me, is You Are a Badass by Jen Cinsero. If hopefully I said that correctly, but y'all, this book is one I just don't feel right not mentioning. Tons of people have read it. I might have been late to the party, but if you're tardy for the party, don't you worry, because it's never too late. This book is a book that teaches you about your mindset, and even the title alone, I am a badass. It's just strong and powerful. Look in the mirror and say that to yourself every day, because it's true. My biggest takeaway from this one, there were a lot of good things. I felt like I was on top of the world when I finished with this book. It teaches you how to think differently and actually pay attention to your subconscious mind and what that's telling you, and really their self-limiting beliefs and doubt and crap that doesn't belong, your beliefs about money that you might associate with struggle, where other people associate money with prosperity, finances, and abundance. So it's something that you don't even realize you're doing, but you're doing it. So this is another one I had to mention, link down below. So let's get into the nitty gritty. What are my goals for 2023? Going into a new year, every year I create a vision board and then I set it as my background on my phone. Now this collage is actually from 2019, you guys. I made this one in 2019. I put it later in the year as my background on my phone because there were, like, as you can see, I made this in 2019 and California is big here because I always wanted to move back to California. And so it was really, really awesome to look back at this one and see how that came to fruition. So I set goals in 4 areas: my health, my finances, my business, and my spiritual goals. I'm going to start with my health goals. I have been working with one of my closest, bestest friends, and she began her business as well this year. So we're rooting for each other, and I totally believe in her. She's awesome. She's a bikini figure competitor, and she is just a total and complete badass. Her name's Shelby Haskell, and she is the owner of Signature Habits. So she is my health coach. And so that's something that I've been consistent with. And my body, I just posted a picture and everybody was in my DMs like, oh my gosh, Patrice, you look so fit. What are you doing? Are you on a fitness journey? And I was like, yes, why yes. I tell myself, because it's hard. Sometimes like you just really don't want to do it. And so what I've been telling myself is if I can just get on the treadmill for 7 minutes, I'm going to just go. That's attainable. And so I'm like, yeah, no, I could do that. I could do that. So I go to the gym and I start running for my 7 minutes. And then next thing you know, I'm like, I'm already there. So I might as well keep going. I really want to put on more muscle mass. I'm like leaning out, but now I want to bulk up a little bit. I had a trainer when I was in high school tell me that with my body type, I could either have the fattest body or the baddest body, and it cracks me up. But yeah, I definitely want to have the baddest body. I want to be bad. I'm a baddie. So I will continue doing that and toning up. So on this journey, you'll see my transformation. I'm going to document it because consistency is key. Financial. I have written down how much money I want to make every month for next year. So I wrote it down because Habakkuk 2:2 says write down the vision and make it plain, and that's what I've done. I want to make $9,000 a month. I was working 2 jobs. I was working like a freaking Hebrew slave. I hope that's not offensive. I was working non-stop. Like I literally, I had no life. I had no life. So right after Thanksgiving, I gave up my second income so that I could focus more on the things that I actually do love doing. But I'm going to do the things I love doing to replace that income. I think I'm going to go ahead and get my Zumba certification so that I can continue dancing and also have a good time and get out and meet new people. Stay fit. That's another thing that goes along. It also balances out with my health goals, and it's something that I love to do, and it's going to bring me some money. Next up, my business goals. I started my business, like I said earlier in this video, Plissé Maison. So yeah, 2022, man. Sometimes I have the tendency to get overzealous, and there's nothing wrong with having tenacity. Don't get me wrong, but it's also good to have a strategy and a plan. And I learned this year the importance of that for real. So I was selected to show in New York Fashion Week as an emerging designer, and I like worked really hard to like figure out how to get there and make it happen, and got there and started doing my networking thing, which is cool and all, but there were just some steps that I needed to take prior to going to the big stage, and I need to focus more on business development, brand development, and getting all of those things in place before taking to a big stage such as New York Fashion Week. And I made a really tough decision to pull out so that I could focus on some smaller details first, such as, you know, production and business funding and like very important things. So it's just, yeah, I got overzealous. So that was a tough thing that a tough choice that I had to make. But I also, pressure can do one of two things. It can make diamonds or it can bust pipes. And my pipes were literally busting, y'all, like busting. And I'm not trying to crumble and fall apart. I'm trying to emerge as a diamond. So I made the tough decision to pull out of Fashion Week, but that's okay, because you still gonna see me. You just gonna see me in 2024. So I'm gonna take this year to really focus on really like hit the ground running with those details so that I'm ready come February 2024 for New York Fashion Week. I'll be debuting as a featured emerging designer, which is huge. It's really exciting. So I'm planning on getting a team set down and in place for my brand development in 2023. Also, with my YouTube channel, I really started vlogging back in 2016, but I just have not ever been consistent. I am putting my foot down and saying I am going to do this thing for real consistently. So right now I have 243 subscribers, and I'm so grateful, like for real, for every single one of you who has hit the subscribe button. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I am trying to grow. I want to hit 1,000 followers. That is a minimum of 1,000 followers this year. It's an attainable goal. I do feel like it's a small goal because I would love to have more than 1,000, but I'm setting my goal at 1,000 because I think that's a pretty solid goal to make. You can start to expect and see a video from me every week. Every Sunday I will be uploading a new video for you guys. I would also really love to grow my following on this app called Like to Know It. If you haven't heard of Like to Know It, it's an influencer platform, and on that app, Like to Know It, I've got about 41 followers. And I'd like to grow also to 1,000. I set that the percentage of growth rate is a little bit higher there, but I figured if I'm striving for 1,000 on YouTube, I can strive for 1,000 on Like to Know It. If you're not following me and you do know what Like to Know It is, Patrice the Fashionista, go ahead and follow me on Like to Know It. Thank you, thank you, thank you in advance. And lastly, but not leastly, my spiritual goals. What I would like to achieve spiritually for myself this year is really just unwavering faith and having a confidence in myself that I haven't had up until now. As I've said, I've been through a lot of things in my life, and maybe one day I'll go down and talk more about that, but it's definitely made it a challenge for me to stand strong and confident and believe in myself. And like literally for my birthday this year, I got one of the most hateful text messages I've ever received, and I've received other hate mail too. Like I believe we all have had hurtful things said to us. But the message started out saying like my mom, who has passed away, should have named me pathetic because that's what I truly am. Like, how miserable does a person have to be to say something like that to somebody else? Like, what does it do for you to demean and demolish somebody else? I, for the life of me, will never understand it. But honestly, I've let voices like that keep me quiet, and no more. It has stopped me and slowed me down from reaching and attaining my goals and uploading YouTube videos because I don't know if they're going to be watching. If you are watching, I forgive you. And genuinely, I really do hope and pray that you find fulfillment in your life in a different type of way than tearing somebody else down. You must be miserable, and for that, my heart is sad for you. But overall, I do wish you the best, and I do hope that you find some joy in your life in different ways. Here I am. I'm still standing, and I'm doing very well, for real. So, you couldn't break my spirit. What's that song? You won't break my soul. You won't break my soul, and I'm telling everybody. Everybody. That's the T. If you're one of those people like me that has that voice of just like doubt that comes in and creeps in and tries to tell you not to do something, like, shut it up. Shut it up. You are a freaking boss. Stand up and chin up. Like, I'm encouraging you. If you're sitting on your couch right now and you feel like you're not cute, like, get up and go brush your hair, or get up and go just put on red lipstick and look in the mirror and say, dang girl, you look really good today, or whatever it is you need to say to yourself to just let you know that you are that girl. Like, you are that girl. Don't ever let anybody tell you different. And I'm talking to myself too. Like, it's real. Like, it's really real out here in these streets. Some days you just have to remind yourself who the F you is, because these people out here are crazy, and they know it. That's the thing. They know it. And that's why they come for you. That's why they come for you. But you just have to know it about yourself and realize that that's why they're doing what they're doing. And that's the thing for me. I'm like, y'all, come gas me up. Gas me up, okay? Because we're about to hit the ground running, and I'm not kidding you. I am not kidding. So, anywho, love you. If that's you sitting on your couch, get up right now. Hit pause, though, because I want you to finish watching the rest of this. Hit pause. Go put your lipstick on. Go hype yourself up in the mirror really fast. Put on some music if you need to. And get out of that funk. Because actually, that's what I had to do to make this video today. I'm not even going to lie. I had to literally force myself to do this. And I sat in front of my mirror and I was like, it took everything in me to put this lipstick on, y'all. But I did it, and here I am, and I'm so proud of myself for it. So I encourage you to do the same thing. And another thing, I know there's somebody else out here who can relate. I'm not vain or conceited in any way, shape, or form, but sometimes I deal with people thinking that I am nothing more than just what I look like, or a pretty face. And like y'all, my lip curled up when I said that, because it just makes me so mad. Like, somebody just recently said that I was nothing but a pretty face just standing there doing nothing. And that's so far from the truth. But at the end of the day, like, there's a little tiny piece of me that believes that sometimes. So I have to tell myself in the mornings that I'm useful, because, like, people look at you and they judge you by what you look at. It's just, people do it. They shouldn't. And I love the direction society is heading, where it's becoming inclusive and we are just loving everybody for who they are and what they look like. But the sad reality is there are still some people who be out here judging. Man, this lady came on the plane. I won't ever forget her. She complimented me. She was like, "You're really pretty. Oh my gosh, yada, yada, yada." Raved about my appearance, what my face looked like. And then she took a few steps and she turned around again and she said, "But you're also, I'm sure, intelligent, competent, capable." She said, like, affirming words that were outside of what I look like. And this woman herself was stunning. And the fact that she turned around and said that to me, I was like, you get it. You get it. And I was like, that right there means absolutely everything to me. Like, just being confident in who it is that God made you to be, whether you have a gap in your teeth or acne, it doesn't matter. You're beautiful. And I genuinely mean that. But knowing that, and knowing that you bring, honey, like, not just, like, you are the main entree. You have something to bring to the table. That meal isn't gonna happen if you're not there. You're the main entree. You're more than just the sides. You ate the sides. That's the meat and potatoes here, y'all. Like, and so these things are, I'm also talking to myself and just walking confidently and knowing that you have something to say. You are useful. You do have value. And it's not just found in what you look like, or the clothes that you wear, or the type of car that you drive, you name it, where you live, the job that you work, your Instagram feed, how dry your line is. But your identity isn't wrapped up in those things. It is not. So for now, I'm gonna come to a stopping point in this video. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching with me this week. I can't wait to see you guys next week. And if you have not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. Hey. And I'll see you guys again next Sunday. Love you. Bye.